What's up everybody, once again my name is Matt and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda, A Link Between Worlds. In the last episode we collected all the Mai-Mais and returned them to Mother Mai-Mai. That way we could upgrade all of our items and get the Great Spin Attack. That being done, there is only one thing left to do in this game, so in this episode we are going to travel to Lorule and storm Lorule Castle. That way we can challenge Yuga for the final time. It's pretty exciting actually because, I mean, we've been working this entire game just to get to this point where we're strong enough to challenge Yuga, and now we finally are, and actually, we will have the opportunity to get even stronger because there is one more item inside of Lorule Castle that we have yet to collect. But let's activate this save point, not because I want to save, but because, well, it's here and it wasn't activated, so yeah, it makes sense to activate it now. Anyways, looks like we're going to talk to Hilda. Can you hear me, hero of Hyrule? You have arrived just in time, for you guys escape my bonds, and his minions are loose in Lorule Castle. Give me a moment while I remove the barrier that protects my castle, then make haste, Link. You got it, Hilda. It's kind of cool that Hilda gets to help us out one final time before we go inside the castle and find out more about her. Because, like, Hilda, at least in my opinion, is a really cool character. And, I think the story ties up quite nicely, and I can't wait to, like, share that with all of you guys. But before we can do that, we need to make our way through Lorule Castle. Now, Lorule Castle isn't really much of a castle. It's more of a giant tower. Like, there's 4 floors that we need to go to. It's not as simple as just, like, going up all 4 floors and then fighting Yuga. There's still stuff that we need to do beforehand. But, before doing any of that, I want to grab this first hidden chest and get ourselves 20 rupees. I know, technically, since we're this late into the game, like, rupees and the extra chests probably don't matter as much, but I still want to collect them all just for the sake of completion. And oh no, now I've got to fight one of these giant, like, enemies with a flame chain ball. These guys can be kind of annoying, but I find that the best strategy is, like, getting up close to them and then just spamming your sword and then occasionally blocking when they, like, throw their fire chain out at you, and you can immediately just block their attack and then go back in and keep swinging. Now, the first few floors of Lorule Castle aren't really that interesting. You can pretty much just rush all the way up to the 3rd floor and get started on the trials, but if you take time to explore the extra hallways, you'll get yourself a few extra chests like this one, which contains 20 rupees. But there's actually another chest that we can get inside this room if we turn off both of these torches and go back towards the door. Ta-da! Check it out. There's actually a hidden path that we can cross. And on the other side, let me just equip my lamp real quick. You can find yourself a chest that contains 100 rupees. So that's kind of cool. But again, since we're this late into the game, we really don't need the rupees, I guess. So if you don't really want to go out of your way to get these chests, I would completely understand, since there's really no point to. Again, I'm just doing it for the sake of completion. But there's nothing else that we want to do here. So let's head up to the next floor. And this is pretty much going to be your main hub floor because, check it out, that giant door has 4 symbols on it. And if you've played Wind Waker before, you probably know what that means, but I'll explain it in a second. For now, hit this switch, that way you can activate the teleporter that'll take you back down to the 1st floor, or from the 1st floor up to the 3rd floor, which is important because we're jumping all the way back down to the 1st floor. That way we can open up this chest and get ourselves a small key. And that small key is very important because we actually need that to access all of the trials. Now that we have it though, let's head back up to floor number 3. So essentially, this door and its symbols represent the 4 trials. At the end of the trial, there's a boss. After you defeat the boss, one of those symbols will light up. Once all 4 symbols are lit up, the door will open and we can move on through Lorule Castle. But before we do any of that, let's open up this chest and get ourselves the compass. More importantly, if you look at our map, you'll notice that there is a chest behind us. So if we extinguish those torches, we can see these small little tiny paths. And at the end of it, well, there's a large chest, and inside we got ourselves the red mail. So this again decreases the amount of damage we take by half. So right now, we are super strong and super tanky. Like, that is awesome, and that's kind of why I wanted to get the key first. That way we can go up there and get the red mail. And now we can start the trials. Now, this is the only trial that actually doesn't require an item. All the other trials have, like, pillars in front of them that tell you which item that you need. So I figured this would be a good place to start. But you can do them in whatever order you want to. Now, how all of the trials work is there is a locked door. Behind that door is the boss. Now, you need to find a chest with a small key. This chest, however, does not contain a small key. It contains a monster tail. But yes, after you find the chest with a small key, you open up that door, fight the boss, and then you can get teleported back to the main room, where you can take on the next trial and so on and so forth until they are all done. So they're pretty simple. The rooms themselves aren't that large, and the puzzles inside aren't that long. So for the most part, you should be able to get through all these rooms pretty quickly without too much trouble. Like, there's really only one trial that's absurdly long when you compare it to how short the other ones were. So I guess we'll worry about that once we get to it. For now, let's head in this room. And this is really weird. You need to like activate all these purple platforms to appear. That way the tiles start attacking you. And when they do, just stand close to one of the edges. That way you have the purple platforms at your back. And then use your shield to guard your front and side. And then all you have to do is wait for the tiles to finish attacking you. Like, this is just kind of weird in my opinion, because literally all you're doing is standing still. Like, you can't do anything else, and you just have to wait until all the tiles are done attacking you. Anyways, now that is over, we can finally leave this room and continue on with the rest of this trial. So let's head up these stairs, and we've pretty much got to solve the same puzzle again. We've got another like static spike ball that we need to get moving. That way we could actually make our way to the chest with the small key, which is right there to the left of this spike ball. So basically the same puzzle as before, just follow the platforms down and make sure this spike ball hits the other spike ball, and whoop-de-doo, we have solved the puzzle in this room. All I've got to do now is make our way up to that small chest, grab it, and then we can challenge the boss. Now, all of the bosses are going to be like mini bosses, or even bosses from previous temples. Like, I'm pretty sure we need to fight Moldorm again at some point. So, yeah, hooray for that. But they are pretty easy, so they're not going to take like too much time to defeat and move on to the next trial. They're not like full-fledged bosses like the normal temples. But anyways, let's see what we gotta do for this trial. Oh, I remember this. Yep, it's the freaking, like, giant jellyfish guy from the Swamp Palace. Not even the boss of the Swamp Palace. We have to, like, fight the mini-boss of the Swamp Palace. Although, I believe this is the Treacherous Tower version because it's purple. So, obviously, it has a little bit more HP, but it's really not that hard. And now that we have our nice bow, we can shoot 3 arrows at once to do more damage. And again, when it's electrified, you can actually shoot arrows at it to unelectrify it, and then keep attacking. The only annoying thing about this guy is that, yeah, when you attack him, he will bounce you back, and since the platforms move, you can fall in lava. I'm surprised the platform didn't actually catch me there. That was just because I was holding the control stick while I respawned. That was just really dumb on my part, but at least all we have to do is, like, kill all of his little babies, and then we will be done with the first trial. So, come on, man, can I hit you with my... There we go. And that does it for the first trial. Sweet. I actually took a little bit of damage on that fight. I'm surprised. Dang it, I was hoping for a heart, but whatever. Let's just head back to the main room and take on the next trial. While I am trying to keep my hearts up, it's not really that big of a deal since there will be the opportunity to heal before we challenge Yuga anyways. Alright, so the next trial that we're going to take on requires us to use the bombs. So let me pull out our nice bombs and let's get going. And I gotta say, like, out of all the trials, I think this one might actually be my favorite just because I like the concept of it. Basically, we need to use bombs or other methods to hit a bunch of switches to eventually make our way through, like, this sort of labyrinth. And they do give you this one bomb at the start, but that's actually kind of to trick you because, yeah, you can't actually continue to use that bomb throughout this entire area. If you try to, well, you'll be out of luck because it's impossible. You need to bring your own bombs through here. I mean, if you use that one bomb, you'll probably be able to get, like, this far, and then you'll just be stuck. So make sure you bring your own as you go in here. Now, if we throw a bomb up here, we can ride this platform up and open up this chest, which will give us 20 rupees. Now, before we leave, I'm actually going to leave a bomb because if we run all the way to the other side, that bomb will blow up and lift us up over here. Now, there is a giant bomb flower. We need to bring this big bomb flower all the way to the end of this maze. That way we can blow up a giant boulder, and behind that boulder is the chest with the key that we need to actually fight the boss. So this is where it does get kind of tricky. We need to bring this bomb all the way to the end, but there are like a ton of like corridors with enemies in them. So what I like to do is like bring the bomb somewhere safe, then merge onto the wall. That way we can leave it there and then try and like kill all the enemies off in the next area before I bring the bomb along with me, because Otherwise, you just risk having the bomb blow up and then having to go all the way back to get another one and then move all the switches again. And that can be kind of annoying after a while. So I just prefer to play it safe and take a little bit longer to, I don't know, make sure the bomb is safe while we go through here the first time, rather than having to go back like 2 or 3 times just because, you know, the bomb blew up. But I believe this is the last enemy that we need to kill, so I think it's safe to say all we gotta do is bring our bomb to the end, and we should be good to go. So come on, bomb buddy. Oh wait, watch out for this thing too, yeah. If he shoots his little ice crystal at your bomb, it will blow up. But we made it to the end. We blew the giant boulders, so let's open up this chest and get ourselves the small key. Now we can just jump back down, open up this door, and take on the boss of the next trial, which I believe is just Moldorm again. Yes, it is. And of course, it's the treacherous tower version of Mulgara, so it's purple, and it has more HP, but it's really not that difficult. They actually do add a twist in that the walls will close in on you, but honestly, that could be harder or easier depending on how you play or how you want to go around defeating this boss again. So, I don't know, the wall's really not a big deal to me. If they do close in, and you seem to be having trouble fighting him, what I like to do is merge onto the wall, and like try and get behind him, and then, oh wow, we actually defeated him already. Well, that was quick. But yeah, you can like get behind him if you merge onto the wall, and then attack him that way from a safe distance, because when he's on like his 3rd form and the walls close in, he moves really, really quickly, so be careful about that. But anyways, with another trial completed, let's head back to the main room because, well, we've only got 2 more trials to go before we can open up that door. And see, I told you guys these trials wouldn't take us too much time, like we're already halfway done. Although we still haven't gone through the longest trial yet. We're actually going to save that one for last, so for now, let's head into our 3rd trial, which requires use of our lamp. And I guess the trials are loosely based off the temple, so this would be based off like the Dark Temple, but basically what's going on here is when you turn off the torches, you can clearly see the path. However, there are walls in your way, so what you have to do is memorize the path and then relight the torch, which will cause the walls to go away, but now you have to navigate the path without being able to see it, so it can be kind of tricky if you have a bad memory. But what I would recommend doing is not like breaking all of the things that are on the ground, because you can use those as like sort of landmarkers, as well as the, you know, posts that appear when the lights are off. So the chest is to our left. Let me just relay this torch, and if you use this sort of skull as a landmarker, go above that, and then once you're directly below the chest, head upwards, and you should be able to get the small key without falling into the abyss below. Getting back's a little bit trickier, but hey, we made it, so good on us. Now all we gotta do is make our way up to the door, and we are good to go. Don't worry about that teleporter pad to our left. It's actually not important at all. So we're just going to head through this door and take on the next boss. Now, unfortunately, this is one of the more annoying bosses of the trials. It's just a normal, like, chain enemy with the flaming chain ball, except because the room is, you know, invisible when there's light around it, his chain actually doubles as a defense mechanism because there's a bunch of invisible walls, and it can be kind of hard to find an opening to get close to this guy. But once you do find the opening, just slash at him, and he goes down just as easily as any normal flame chain guard guy would. So there we go. We've done it. We have successfully completed 3 out of the 4 trials, and there is only 1 remaining. Now, unfortunately, this one is the longest of the 4 trials, but you know what? It's really not that big of a deal. Plus, I wanted to, like, save the hardest one for last. That way we could build more suspense to opening up that door. At least that was the idea when I was planning out this episode. But we do need our hook shot, so let me grab that real quick. And we can use that to pull this lever. That way we can open up the path to get inside the very last trial. So this trial is hard for one reason. Well, 1, it's actually longer, and 2, yeah, there is a wall master in this trial, so this guy can actually be kind of annoying. Now, you can either kill him and, you know, wait for him to respawn later on, or you can just try and avoid him. You do actually need him to help you solve this trial, so killing him might not always be the best option. You might actually want to leave him alive just for a little while, so you can use him to solve part of the puzzle and then kill him off while you do another part that you don't need him for. And actually, you know what? I'm just going to kill him now because he's kind of in my way, bothering me. Now we got a chest with 50 rupees. Not that big of a deal. we do need to use our hookshot to pull this lever. And hey, I actually got on the platform. That's kind of cool. So this will take us across to the other side. Now, obviously, we need 2 eye switches to put in those eye holders. That way we can get a small chest to appear. And we can, you know, take on the boss. The first eye is to my left. Now, this is the harder of the 2 eyes to collect. Now, unfortunately, we need to wait for our Floor Master buddy to respawn. Actually, is it a Floor Master or is it a Wall Master? I had someone tell me that it was a Wall Master, but I'm not entirely sure. I think it is a Floor Master because it comes from the ceiling. I don't know, though. Doesn't really matter. It's one of those things. They both do, like, the same thing anyway, so not a big deal. But yeah, you kind of need to, like, duck into these corners when the Floor Master appears. That way he doesn't grab you, and just make your way through this lava lake. I mean, I could try and kill this Floor Master, but I actually need him for a puzzle in this room because, well, there are 3 switches underneath those skulls, and there's only 1 statue and only 1 of me, so what you want to do is try and trick the Floor Master into hitting one of these switches. Ooh, I think he actually got it. Oh, no, dang it, dude. I think it was, like, just off the edge of it. So I moved a little bit too quickly then. So, I mean, you do have to be a little bit risky and stand still for a little bit longer than you would, but if you do it right, you can open up the pathway, and now we can get this eye. Although, we again need to wait for our Floor Master buddy to break these platforms. That way we can actually pick it up. So come on, buddy. Do your thing. There you go. Thank you very much. Now that we got the eye, we can actually kill the Floor Master next time he spawns, since we kind of want to make it through this lava lake area without him bothering us. And I'm pretty sure, like, his respawn time is just enough time to get through this lava lake area with the eye without him bothering you. So it's kind of nice that they, you know, made the respawn time that long for this particular area, just so it would be a little bit easier. And like I said, this is the hardest of the 2 eyes to collect. So once we get this guy in its pedestal, it'll be easy sailing from here on out. And there we go. So now all we gotta do is get 1 more eye, and hey, our Floor Master buddy is back, which is good because we need him to knock down the next eye for us. So where are you, dude? There he is. Come on, dude. Knock this down for me. That's all I need you to do, and then I'm gonna kill you again. Anyways, now that the eye is down, let's just go back to the main platform. Since we can't actually bring the eye over here, what we need to do is use our hookshot on that moving platform to bring the eye towards us. But before we do that, I'm actually going to kill this Floor Master. And now we can safely grab this eye. And that was not my hookshot. There we go. Alright, so let's just put this thing in the eye pedestal. And ta-da! There is our chest. And inside is the small key that we need. So all I've got to do now is take on the last boss, and that will complete the final trial. And guess what? The last boss is actually the boss of the Swamp Palace, although I think it does have slightly more HP. I'm not entirely sure. I know its attacks are faster in its second form. I'm not exactly sure about how much HP it has, but you kill the same exact way. So for the first phase, just grab its eyeballs and then slash at them until they're all dead. And then once we get to phase 2, you can attack the main body itself. I actually sort of discovered a new strategy for attacking the main body, and I'll show it to you guys once we actually get to that phase. I think it's slightly faster than the other method that I was using, but I figured out you can actually attack him again while he's actually shooting his lasers at you. So for now, let's just attack him normally when he slams down. You can get maybe 1 or 2 sword strikes in on him. Now when he shoots his laser, yeah, this is a lot faster than the first battle, but I realized that if you run in a circle towards him, you can actually get close enough to deal some extra damage, like after he shoots all his lasers, which is kind of cool. And wow, we actually killed him already. I guess he doesn't have higher HP, unless we had a weaker sword when we fought him the first time. I don't actually remember, honestly. Anyways, though, that does it. So we have successfully completed all 4 trials. Let's head back to the main room and check it out. The door has opened up. So now, the only thing left to do is challenge Yuga. Oh man, this is actually really exciting now. And here we are, back where we first entered Lorule, and the portal's still there. Guess what? If you actually head through this portal and head back to Hyrule, and by the way, I would recommend doing this if you're low on HP because, well, it's kind of like a fairy's fountain. So if you're low on health, you can, you know, pick up a fairy or 2 and then head back to Lorule to fight Yuga. But We are at full health already, so all we've got to do now is challenge Yuga, but we're going to do that in the next episode. So if you enjoyed this part, a like rating would be greatly appreciated. If you want to see more, consider subscribing. Once again, guys, my name is Matt. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.